Shut the lights down in the city. Say the system's on the ropes, while the same hands that broke it hold your paycheck and your hopes. They'll sell your sweat for silver, call your sacrifice relief, but every drop of truth we bleed writes another line of belief. Freedom isn't free, it's carved in blood and fire and stone. That's the price of standing tall when they tell you to kneel and go home. They can lock up every promise, tax the air we breathe, but they'll never change the hearts of those who still believe. 'Cause freedom isn't free. They preach peace from marble towers while they fence off your front yard. They wave a flag made out of rules and call obedience smart. They'll brand your voice as danger, they'll mock your faith as greed, but freedom don't need permission, it just needs men who'll bleed. Freedom isn't free, it's carved in blood and fire and stone. It's the price of standing tall when they tell you kneel and go home. They can lock up every promise, tax the air we breathe, but they'll never change the hearts of those who still believe. 'Cause freedom isn't free. Freedom isn't free, it's written in red on history's page, a warning to the tyrants and the cowards of the age. They can bury us in silence, but the truth still screams. Freedom isn't free. Freedom isn't free.
Hello, friends. Do you have a moment so that we may discuss our Lord and Savior Minarchy? No, seriously, I'm just kidding. Hi, my name's Rick Robinson. I am the general manager of KLRNradio.com. We are probably the largest independent podcast network that you've never heard of. We have a little bit of everything, and by that, what I mean to tell you is we have news, pop culture, special events, conspiratainment, true crime, mental health shows, drama productions, and pretty much everything in between. So if you're looking for a new podcast home to grab a little bit of everything that you love all in one place, come check us out. You can find us on X under @KLRNradio. You can find us on our Rumble and our YouTube channels under the same names. You can also find us at KLRNradio.com and pretty much every podcast catcher known to man. So again, feel free to come check us out anytime you like at KLRNradio.
Not to be a backseat driver, but can you say for sure you got the best monthly payment possible on your auto loan? Could it be that you might have gotten a better deal by shopping the loan at a few places and have a lower car payment? Next time, before you go car shopping, visit Communication Federal Credit Union first. Our auto loan experts will find you a perfect loan and get you the lowest monthly payment we can. Communication Federal, your auto loan experts. Restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hi, everyone. This is JJ, the co-founder of Good Pods. If you haven't heard of it yet, Good Pods is like Goodreads or Instagram, but for podcasts. It's new, it's social, it's different, and it's growing really fast. There are more than 2 million podcasts, and we know that it is impossible to figure out what to listen to. On Good Pods, you follow your friends and podcasters to see what they like. That is the #1 way to discover new shows and episodes. You can find Good Pods on the web or download the app. Happy listening.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
The following program contains coarse language and adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
America's on the rails. What we're trying to change tonight.
From the halls of power to Main Street lights, we're tracking the shifts, exposing the fights. Truth seekers rising in heartland flame. Ricks calling names and we're joining the game. No filters, no fear. We pull back the veil. When the system rebels, we refuse to pale. America off the rails. We're wake-up calls.
And good Monday evening, ladies and gentlemen. I guess it's Monday night now. It's like 10 o'clock on the East Coast. But we're here. We're live. Hopefully you guys are held over from Bearded Books with Aggie and Jeff. And we've got plenty of things to talk about tonight. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit everything in for an hour. We're going to try. So anyway, where to start? All right. So I know the left and a lot of folks right now are kind of discombobulated over some of the stuff that Trump said today when he was taking questions, and he started talking about, as far as he's concerned, this thing's almost over. And I know a lot of folks started freaking out because we're like, it sounds like he's about to take an off ramp. Does this mean he's going to take his foot off their neck? Blah, blah, blah. And no, I don't really think so. I think Donald Trump just tells everybody exactly how he wishes things were, whether it's his staff, whether it's the American people. But he's still going to leave it up to the generals and the commanders that are in charge to determine when we are officially done. I will say this, after all of the nightmares and BS that we've heard over the years regarding Iran, the fact that we've been able to make such short work of them so far, knock on wood, obviously, is kind of a huge deal, because everybody told me growing up this was going to be impossible. This was one of the reasons why nobody had ever tried to do it before. And again, I mean, at this point, this is what we know. We took out the original Ayatollah. They elevated another Ayatollah. We took him out. I think they may have elevated another one, and I'm not sure on that one. And then I know for sure that they finally got around to naming the most recent one, who has already been seriously wounded, which is why it took so long for them to tell everybody that that's who it was going to be. So I bet Polymarket has some really good over-unders going on that one. I'm just saying, because now we're at 1 Ayatollah, 2 Ayatollah, 3 Ayatollah. Boom! Anyway, look. For all of you that are wringing your hands about this, for all of you that are, he promised no new wars. I'm going to say this again. This is not a new war. Iran has been at war with us for 47 years. China has been at war with us for pretty much its communist inception. It is time for us to start acting as if things are the way they are, not how we want them to be, because we've been doing that a lot lately. And in some ways that works. In the realm of national security, not so much. And if you don't believe me, just look at what happened earlier. What was it, Saturday? I think it was Saturday. It was either Saturday or Sunday. I don't remember. But there were protests and counter-protests in front of Gracie Mansion. And while one of the leftists was in the middle of screaming, "We want everyone here but you," somebody jumped on his back and basically tried to throw an explosive device. We've got that audio of that video. We'll be playing that in just a second. But yeah, so it's been a fun couple of days. Time change kicked my ass, so I have started a new. It probably will be biannually at this point. I think that's what they call it if it's twice a year. Anytime time change happens, I'm moving my show later. I don't care. I'm my boss. When I do the radio stuff, I can do what I want. So yeah, so I decided today we were going to do a later than average Rick Robinson show because I didn't feel like getting up on time. So there's that. So anyway, so let's take a look at the news feeds real quick. So we got to talk about this one because there are lots of leftists that are really pissed off at this dude right now. I want to give him a standing ovation. So this is from Joseph, looks like Chalfant from Town Hall. I don't think I've read anything from him before, so I'm going to have to make sure I'm following him. Republican Congress critter Andy Ogles, Tennessee District Number 5, has pushed the buttons of most of the rabid leftists and Democrats after he introduced a bill to codify President Donald Trump's ban on immigration from a number of Muslim-majority countries. One post managed to gain over 20,000 likes and 6 million views, and it was this one. Muslims don't belong in American society. Pluralism is a lie. And of course, this sent everyone over the edge. And he went on to say something that I've been saying now for a while. America and Islam are incompatible because it's the truth. The next one, fact check true. The burqas and the hijabs have no place in this country. Let's make America look like America again. That's again Rev. Andy Ogles. Congress must pass my Muslim ban today. Well, sorry, sir. It looks like Trump isn't planning on signing anything until you guys finish with the Save America Act. But, you know, and again, none of them belong here. That's, again, Rep. Andy Ogles. Ogles, a Christian, also issued a slew of tweets targeting the Islamification of the United States, came after numerous Islamic-inspired terror attacks swept over the country just days after the launch of Operation Epic Fury in Iran. Democrats responded to Ogles by calling the congressman a malignant clown, pathological liar, and an Islamophobe, and called on the GOP to denounce Ogles for his fiery statements. Ogles responded to the chattering from Democrats by bringing to light their shutdown of the Department of Homeland Security, which is, again, I said this on the show today, bombs are currently falling. Whatever your political position is, whatever you feel should be going on with this war, especially if you are a member of the political folks, you know, the folks that are supposed to be serving us, the ones that we call leadership all the time, and even I do it and before I catch myself, which is why you heard that pause, because I'm done calling these people our leaders. They're not our leaders. They're not supposed to be. We're supposed to be in charge of them. And the simple fact of the matter is there are a great number of us that have been saying since 1980 that this needed to be dealt with and needs to be dealt with now, quick, fast, and in a hurry. One of the things that I loved reading today, and I don't remember who put it out, was somebody who pointed out that under Jimmy Carter's tenure, he was the only president that didn't drop bombs on another country. Ironically enough, it was him refusing to do it when he should have done it that has made pretty much every other president since him actually do that. Because Democrats are retarded. I'm sorry, does the truth hurt? I'm sorry. Not really, because I apologize for nothing. Because it's the truth. Look, you guys, I don't get it with you guys. You guys are the ones that always think the alligator's going to eat you last. Or what you're hoping is the alligator won't eat you at all. But you're still going to wind up in the same place as everybody else. You're just going to get there slower. And I hope you're okay with that. Because by embracing Islam in the way that you have, and denouncing Christianity and Judaism, by the way, at the same time, which I find absolutely hilarious, because you guys are the first ones to stand up for Islamists when somebody talks trash about them. But you can listen to clerics talk about how America is an Islamist nation and belongs to Allah, and it's only a matter of time until they take it from us. And you don't say a word. Why is that? Why is that? Most of us that are Christians just wanted to be left alone. Most of us that are conservative just wanted to be left alone. You have made that impossible. So now what you're seeing is Gen X getting pissed off, finally deciding to plug ourselves in to this crazy game called politics and fix the shit that the people before us have broken. It wasn't us. We didn't break it, but we're damn well going to be the ones to fix it because nobody gave us a choice. Just like everything else in our life, we weren't given a choice. We just had to figure it out. We spent most of our childhood being adults, and then most of our adulthood wishing we could be children again because we were busy being adults from the time we were 10. But you've woken us up and you've pissed us off. So now Gen X is saving the world. And the funny thing about Gen X saving the world is you're starting to see the cry for freedom come up everywhere. The Iranians want to be free. One of the things I disagree with that Trump said today is he didn't like the choice of their new leader, but he doesn't seem to understand that they're on to another group of electors, since we already sent the other ones to meet Allah, and they're still following the playbook. Look, like it or not, this is probably going to take a form of regime change to get done what we want to get done in Iran. Now, if we're smart enough, we can do it without having to put American boots on the ground, because you've got Iraqi Kurds, Iranian Kurds already saying they want to go in. I know for a fact if we gave them the green light, Israel would go in. So we don't necessarily have to be the ones to even do that. But the truth of it is, ladies and gentlemen, we are watching the potential for the world stage to be changed almost forever. Because this is the stuff that we were told could never happen. This is the stuff that we were told was impossible. Because not only have we pulled Venezuela back into the fold after we snatched a dude out of a Snuggie, now we've already gone after Iran once and said we're going to stop you from being able to do this nuclear stuff, and then hopefully you'll be willing to come back to the table. And then come to find out, they still had access to nuclear material. My guess is they probably got it from one of their little axis of resistance buddies, which I think is what they call themselves these days. And so we found out about it because they were brazen enough to admit it during the negotiations. They said, we're about a week away from having enough material for a nuclear missile. And when that got reported back to Trump, that's when the things that they had been wargaming kind of started having to happen, whether we wanted them to or not. Now, like I said, there's a lot that we're going to be talking about today, most of which is going to be about Iran and this whole thing in Cuba. But the majority of Democrats apparently want to be normal. And the media seems to be missing out on that. So a majority of Democrat voters may simply desire normalcy. This is based on a study by the Manhattan Institute, which found that while online activists and vocal progressives dominate the party messaging, most Democrats actually prefer more moderate, pragmatic policies, at odds with what is promoted on left-leaning social media, cable news, and donor funding groups. In short, most Democrats favor steering the party toward the center rather than further left. Now, you wouldn't believe it if you spend as much time as I do on social media, because all I ever see are raging crazy leftists, the same ones that are spouting propaganda and showing images of Israel from October 7th from forever ago, having fire rain down upon it and saying, this is what's happening right now, and the American government's not telling you that. But it's not true, because it's not. None of it's true. This is why I tell you, I don't care who you listen to. I don't care where you get your information from. You need to do everything you can to make sure that you get your information from more than one place, because usually the truth is somewhere in the middle, and that's just the truth of it. All right, so speaking of troops on the ground in Iran, this is from Pete Hegseth, so let's see what this is about. Let's see. So this is from, looks like, Neoa Berg. So far today, the air itself in Tehran is toxic to breathe and it's raining oil. The UAE has officially bombed the regime in Iran, entering the war. A supreme leader has been chosen, but they're too scared to announce who he is because he'll be assassinated. Dun, dun, dun. To put it simply, the Trump administration's goal is to destroy Iran's military and nuclear capabilities more than bringing about the rise of another regime. Iran's government has been reeling from the constant barrage as many of its leaders have been killed. The nation's assembly of experts named Mojtaba Khamenei as, and I know I can't pronounce that fucking name, I don't care, as the country's supreme leader, signaling that the regime's hardliners remain in place. Meanwhile, Trump is considering deploying special forces troops to seize Iran's near bomb-grade uranium, according to Reuters. Let me check this real quick. Yeah, no, we're not playing that whole thing. So, yeah, I was going to play part of the 60 Minutes interview, but I didn't get a chance to trim it down first, and the whole clip in here is like the whole thing, so we're not doing that. But anyway. All right, so let's see what other trouble we can get into real quick, like, before we take the break. I do have new music tonight for the break, too, so hopefully you guys like it. It's kind of inspired by an idea that's been rattling around in my brain for the last couple days. So this was an interesting story. I saw this the other day, and this may be karma. So the dad who was accused of killing his daughter's alleged rapist wins the Republican sheriff nomination and says we're just getting started. An Arkansas father who is facing second-degree murder charges for allegedly killing his teen daughter's suspected sexual abuser has won the Republican nomination for county sheriff. Blaze News reported this in October of 2024. Aaron Spencer woke up to find his 14-year-old daughter missing from the family's home. Police were notified about the missing girl. Spencer got in his vehicle to try to track down his missing daughter and spotted a white Ford truck on the highway owned by Michael Fosler, the 67-year-old man accused of raping Spencer's daughter. At 67, wouldn't it? That's just not cool. So the Lanoke County Sheriff's Office said in a press release while en route, deputies were notified that the father, Aaron Spencer, had located the juvenile in a vehicle with the suspect. Not saying his name anymore, which is my policy in case you don't know. The affidavit said Spencer used his vehicle to rear end the suspect's Ford F-150 truck at an intersection, which forced it off the road and into a ditch. Citing court records, USA Today reported that Spencer then got out of his car and started firing a gun at the suspect. He fired 16 times, according to court records. 15 hits, 1 miss. It's pretty good. Court documents said Spencer then pistol whipped the suspect in the face after firing the shots. Court records show Spencer then called 911 and said, "This fucker's dead on the side of the road for trying to kidnap my daughter. I had no choice." Police say the suspect was pronounced dead at the crime scene. Spencer was arrested, charged with second-degree murder in connection with the suspect's death, and then released from the Lanoke County Detention Center after posting bail. Court documents said Spencer went to the home of a female acquaintance of the suspect on July 2024, told the woman that the suspect raped his underage daughter, and then demanded the phone number of the suspect and home address. Spencer instructed the woman not to call anyone, including the police, according to court documents. However, the suspect's acquaintance revealed the situation to one of her family members, who was a mandated reporter. According to USA Today, mandated reporters are required to notify law enforcement officials or social services about suspected cases of child abuse. The mandated reporter alerted the Lanoke County Sheriff's Office about the rape allegations, according to court records. Court records said 2 officers went to Spencer's residence as part of the investigation into the rape of his minor daughter. Court docs said the interaction between Spencer and officers was recorded on a police body cam, and one of the officers started telling Spencer, "We still don't live in a country where you can take the law into your own hands," to which Spencer responded with what I would assume is probably only a string of expletives, because I know I would have. Officials with the Wade Knox Children's Advocacy Center interviewed Spencer's daughter, according to court records. USA Today reported that police obtained an arrest warrant for the suspect for a charge of rape and 1 count of internet stalking of a child, both of which are felonies. USA Today said the suspect was arrested and then released from jail on $50,000 bond on July 17, 2024. Spencer's sister-in-law in 2025 launched a Give, Send, Go crowdfunding campaign, which has raised over $100,000 in an effort to keep their family afloat amid Aaron's daughter's legal proceedings. Beginning in the spring of 2024, my then 13-year-old niece was targeted by a predator, groomed and assaulted multiple times, the crowdfunding listing said. As Blaze News reported in October of 2024, Spencer launched a political campaign to become the new Lanoke County Sheriff despite awaiting trial in connection with the alleged murder of the suspect. The Arkansas Secretary of State revealed that Spencer won more than 53% of the vote in Tuesday's 3-person GOP primary, easily defeating incumbent Lanoke County Sheriff John Staley and David Bufford. Spencer said of his victory, "Lanoke County sent a clear message last night, and we're just getting started. I'm running to restore accountability and integrity to the sheriff's office, and the people of this county just showed they want the same thing." The father said on his campaign Facebook page, and I quote, "Let's finish the job and build a safer, stronger Lanoke County together." Sheriff Staley congratulated Spencer by saying in a statement, "Tonight the voters made their decision in the Republican primary, and I respect that decision." And it was probably really painful for him to say that, but he said it anyway. All right, so we are going to take a break. Again, as I said a moment ago, I do have a new bit of music, so hang on just a second. Make sure it should have already been uploaded. All right, so this is a new one. This is Cry of Freedom. I told you it would kind of make sense with the theme tonight, but here we go. This is from the KLRN Radio House Band. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
They tried to quench the fire, drown it all in chains, tried to break our will and wash away our names. But every spark they buried only fed the flame. Now the cry of freedom's roaring through the rain. Hear the cry of freedom on the winds of change. Every voice united, breaking every chain. We were born to stand and never bow again. Let the fire of liberty forever reign. Forever reign. Now the walls are shaking from the battle cry. Truth is rising to the sky. Every soul that ever felt the weight of chains feels the fire of freedom in their veins. No more chains, no more lies. Hear the thunder as we rise. Freedom's call won't be denied. Now the fire burns worldwide. Hear the cry of freedom on the winds of change. Every voice united, breaking every chain. We were born to stand and never bow again. Let the fire of liberty forever reign. Let the fire of liberty forever reign.
And welcome back into the program, ladies and gentlemen. Again, it is Monday night. It's time change night, but you did survive Monday, unless you work night shift. And if you work night shift, well, I don't know. Hopefully you get off pretty soon, but thank you for hanging out with us anyway. Got some pretty good numbers coming in on X. Got decent numbers coming in on YouTube since it's not been something I've really focused on before, so I want to give everybody a quick thank you for hanging out over there. If you're new around here, make sure whichever YouTube channel that you are listening and watching from, if you like what we do here, make sure you're clicking that subscribe button. Again, it doesn't cost you anything. Just helps us know who likes what we're doing and who doesn't. So anyway, so plenty of stuff to talk about. Got some clips that I want to play here. So hang on, I'm trying to get back over to my screen here. All right, so let's see what we got going on here today. Give me just 1 second. Let's do this. That way I'm on the right screen. Well, maybe. Although I guess it would have been just as easy to do it from there. My bad. All right, let me make sure that loads, and then I'll get back over here till I'm done playing with it. Giggity. I know, that was terrible. I didn't think about it till after I said it. It's not my fault, man. It's not my fault. I mean, it kind of is because I'm the one that said it, but still. Shush. All right, let's see. All right, so this is kind of the stuff that I've been talking about because this is the stuff the left doesn't want you to see, and apparently doesn't want you to think is actually happening. Now this is subtitled, and I apologize for that, but we're still going to play it anyway. But I will try to make it as large on the screen as I can here in just a second. All right, so that should hopefully make it a little bit easier for you guys to read. And here we go.
Viva l'Occidente, viva la democrazia e viva la libertà. Il movimento europeo pro-Gaza è rimasto a casa di fronte alla brutale repressione del popolo iraniano che lotta per la libertà. È rimasto in silenzio di fronte alle migliaia di sacchi neri, di cadaveri, alle esecuzioni di massa degli Ayatollah che sono considerati intoccabili solo perché antisionisti e anti-americani. Nessuna flottiglia che salpa, nessun liceo occupato, nessuna manifestazione di piazza. Solo una scandalosa doppia morale che antepone l'ideologia ai diritti delle donne e dei giovani iraniani. Sarebbe comico, se non fosse tragico, vedere i sedicenti progressisti, paladini della laicità che hanno combattuto in ogni modo il cristianesimo, coalizzarsi ora con la peggiore dittatura teocratica al mondo. Gli stessi che oggi aprono le porte all'Islam radicale, al velo islamico, alla Sharia, con l'intento molto spesso sbandierato anche di sostituire gli europei e di trasformare l'Europa in una succursale di Teheran. L'Iran brucia nella loro indifferenza, ma non nella nostra. Viva l'Occidente, viva la democrazia e viva la libertà. Viva.
All right, so for those of you who couldn't read it, I'm going to paraphrase it a little bit because she's basically saying everything that I've been saying. The same people that keep claiming that we are a secular democracy are lining up and putting themselves in bed with people that want them dead, that want to chop their heads off just for the fun of chopping their heads off, all because they're not the right people. I don't know if that used to, I don't know, for some reason that seemed larger before. I know, giggity. Let me see if I can, nope, that didn't fix it either. Huh, that's weird. All right, so let me put this on the screen. Thank you, BZ, for popping into the chat and speaking to me today. So Islam must be destroyed or they will destroy us. There is no middle ground. And you are absolutely right. And this is why I have been watching the left have a total meltdown over a certain Congress critter today who basically told them exactly how the cow ate the cabbage when it comes to this thing we call Islam. And I've enjoyed every minute of it. Another thing that I think everybody needs to get ready for is Trump is revoking Biden's executive privilege. So all of the stuff that we wanted to know about Biden's health and everything else is about to be made public. There's about to be so many different reasons for popcorn. Here's another little quick hit, because, you know, and this goes into everything else that I've been talking about. This is from Brandon Morris, and I've seen other folks writing the same article or the same type of article. Gwen Stefani is in a lot of hot water with the left today, but you probably won't get how unless you've seen this. But this is exactly what I'm talking about. Why is this bad, but Islam is good? So let's take a watch, shall we?
Hey everyone, I just got my ashes and I'm ready for Lent. This year, I'll be doing Hollow's 40-day Lent prayer challenge. It's going to be incredible. Check it out. God bless.
Now look, you can say what you want about Hollywood types suddenly deciding that they've found Catholicism and doing Lent and doing commercials about this new app. But who am I to judge? But my question is, why is Gwen Stefani talking about how she likes the fact that she's in a committed marriage and that they're faithful to one another, and talking about Catholicism and how her faith has impacted her life, and doing something like putting herself out there when it comes to potentially reaching other people who may want to find out about this app, And suddenly now the left hates her. But if she had converted to Islam, she'd be a hero of theirs. This is the idiocy that I'm talking about. There is no such thing as secular humanism. You can say there is, you can claim there is, but it's all bullshit, because secular humanism is just another religion. At that point, you have to believe that everything happened by accident with absolutely no explanation as to how it got here for you to think that secular humanism is a thing. And that's impossible. So the idea that we can, in the same space, have two completely conflicting ideologies, in this case, three conflicting ideologies, because now they seem to be giving way from secular humanism and at least tacitly supporting Islam because of how much they hate Christians, because Christians up until the last few years have been telling them, hey, we love you, but you can't do these things. And that's something that's just not okay. You can't hold people to standards. And before anybody says, judge not lest ye be judged, there's more to that. And we always forget that part, because we actually are called to hold believers to a higher standard. So as soon as someone says, hey, I'm a Christian, guess what? That gives you the opportunity and the ability and the requirement to hold them to account. But you don't want to do it, because you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. If we were worried more about people's eternal souls and less about their feelings, we wouldn't even be having most of the discussions that we're having today. We wouldn't be talking about this demonic shit for transgenderism. I mean, let's just call that what it is. That is demonic. If you don't believe me that there is a demon of some sort running roughshod all over these people, then all you really need to do is look at James Carville, who I played a clip of earlier today, who it was a raging just lunatic for a good 2-3 minutes. Spittle and all. It's terrifying. Now, while the left is telling you that we're getting our asses handed to us and that we're not being told the truth about what's happening in Iran and everywhere else, this is what's happening in other parts of the world. Hang on. Let me get this fixed up, because I just realized I messed up. I played a couple of these. This is a newer one. So I just want you to watch this.
Iran's former supreme leader. Is dead. Is dead. Is dead.
All right, so I'm not going to play any more of that, but I did want to leave the flags up on the screen for a second, because I just want you guys to see that. Look at that. There are, again, Iranian and Israeli flags in the same place at the same time, and nobody's trying to kill either of the other side. Yeah, unfortunately, the left has a lot of people just constantly living in their feelings, which is why most of us have had to figure out how to make ours less accessible, because otherwise we would fall into the same kind of BS. But anyway, so hang on. Let's see what other trouble we can get into real quick. Okay, so this is interesting, because I was going to touch on this earlier today, but I wanted to do more research first, and I think I actually talked about it a little bit. But Senator Chucky Schumer has been screaming and yelling about how, because of oil prices getting out of control as far as he's concerned, that it's time to tap the strategic reserves. But the same guy who says we should be doing that now stopped us from filling the the strategic oil reserves when they were really cheap. So anyway, so the top Senate Democrat wants President Donald Trump to tap the national oil stockpile as fuel prices skyrocket. 40 cents is not a skyrocket. You guys have got, and this is from Red State. This is part of what's pissing me off. Now, I think this may be a quote from another article, I think. But I don't like that word choice. This isn't a skyrocket. It's just not. Anyway, sorry. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, Democrat, New York, called on Trump to unleash reserve barrels of oil from America's Strategic Petroleum Reserve as oil prices spike amid the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. Schumer argued in a statement that the reserve exists for moments exactly like this, except that's not true. So, exactly like this, Senator? Because, during a conflict that's well on its way to being won, Iran has lost pretty much all of their aircraft. Their Navy is currently being captained by Davy Jones. Its former Supreme Leader 1 and 2, who is now pancaked, and the new Supreme Leader is walking around with a laser designator dot on his forehead. The Israeli Air Force, along with the United States Air Force and naval aviators, have been solving this problem with the suitable application of high explosives, and Iran can't hold out too much longer. The only way that regime stays in power is if we let it stay in power. But here's the rub. When wars and global crises disrupt energy markets, the United States has the ability to act, but President Trump and his administration are refusing to do so, according to Senator Schumer. Trump should release oil from the SPR now to stabilize markets, bring prices down, and stop the price shock that American families are already feeling thanks to this reckless war. During his first term, Trump wanted to use about $3 billion from a colossal COVID-19 stimulus package making its way through Congress to fill the reserve, but the move was promptly rejected by Schumer and congressional Democrats who panned it as a bailout for the oil industry. The price per barrel at the time was roughly $29 per barrel, according to WTI crude oil. Now oil has eclipsed $110 per barrel over the weekend for the first time since 2022. The bright side is the bottom fell out of it today, and it was closing at around 89 earlier today. So while releasing oil from the SPR has never had a big effect on gas prices at the pump, it's also worth noting that Senator Schumer, and indeed Democrats in general, have opposed domestic development of petroleum at every opportunity. And as noted, Democrats refused to approve filling the SPR up when we could have done so with the price being less than a third of what it is now. Because there's never been a position that a Democrat's not a hypocrite on. I'm just saying. Now, that holds true for some Republicans as well, but it's really true for Democrats 9 times out of 10. So this had to be hard for CNN to admit. So according to CNN, veterans, the ones that have actually served, overwhelmingly support Operation Epic Fury, which probably made CNN want to cry. But here we are anyway, because that's the truth of it. The people that understand what it is that we're doing and why we're doing it don't have a problem with what we're doing. They're going to have a problem with it if we don't finish, which is why some of what Trump said to me today or on screen today gave me pause until somebody reminded me that he's basically just telling everybody what he hopes happens, not what is actually going to happen. All right, but here's an interesting little clip from CNN, and they have this ads. You can already tell, but here we go.
Overall public and those who are either currently or have served in the military. Take a look at this Fox News poll that came out during the past week. Net approval rating of the current U.S. military action against Iran. Look at that. Overall, Fox News shows a dead even split. But look at those who served in the military. Significantly higher support for the U.S. military action currently going on in Iran at plus 20 points. That should not be so much of a surprise, because take a look at how they view Trump's foreign policy overall. Again, look at those who served in the U.S. military versus overall. If you look at Trump's foreign policy overall, the net approval rating on that per Fox News, those who served in the military, they like what's going on average. Look at that. The net approval rating plus 8 points for Trump's foreign policy. But look at those overall. Way, way down there at minus 20 points. We're talking about a nearly 30-point gap between those who served in the military and overall. And this split, when it comes to those who served in the military and overall, dates back to Trump's elections, all the way back to 2016. But let's look at the 2024 numbers. Look at this. 2024 results. Those who served in the military, Trump won them by, get this, 31 points. Kamala Harris actually won all other voters by 2 points. And that means, Johnny Berman, that means that Donald Trump only won in 2024 because of support from those who served in the military.
He only won in 2024 because of those who serve in the military. And those are the people that understand him the best and understand him the most. So that shouldn't really surprise anyone. But you could tell, if you've watched that channel before, that that dude was not happy at all. Anyway, and we have a YouTube troll who I'm just going to ignore because we're almost done with the show anyway, so whatever. Let me guess. You trust CNN, otherwise known as the Communist News Network. Oh. All right, so here's a little interesting one on the way out the door. So apparently Trump's DOJ has reached an agreement with Ticketmaster to lower prices, but some states are already saying no. The U.S. Department of, The U.S. Department of Justice said it had reached a tentative deal in the antitrust lawsuit against Ticketmaster and Live Nation Entertainment on Monday. Critics of the event ticket outlet have accused the company of seeking a monopoly in the industry in order to artificially maintain high sales fees. Live Nation Ticketmaster created a dominant conglomerate with an unprecedented amount of control over the live ticketing market, resulting in monopoly power it has used to entrench its position in the marketplace, according to Mark Medor, who wrote this in 2024. On Monday, a senior Justice Department official said anonymously in a call with reporters that the deal was a win-win for everyone. Live Nation has agreed to divest itself from 13 amphitheaters in the U.S. as a part of the deal, which also includes a $280 million fine. The official said a double-digit number of states have signaled that they will agree with the deal. New York Attorney General Letitia James was among those who said they would not, big surprise, go along with the deal and continue their own lawsuits against the companies. My Attorney General colleagues and I have a strong case against Live Nation, and we will continue our lawsuit to protect consumers and restore fair competition in the live entertainment industry, according to Ms. James. Massachusetts Senator Pocahontas ridiculed President Donald Trump over the deal in a post on social media. Donald, art of the deal, Trump settled the Ticketmaster Live Nation antitrust case. If you love going to concerts, Trump's deal means you'll keep paying a Ticketmaster tax and artists will keep getting bullied. It's time to break up Ticketmaster Live Nation. Poor Lizzie. Poor Lizzie. Anyway, all right, so we are down to the last couple of minutes of showtime here, so I want to, again, to take a moment to thank everybody for hanging out. Don't forget, no show for me tomorrow, but make sure that you are hanging out with Earl in the SHR Media YouTube channel for Mission Ready Men, and then tomorrow night we will have Men Explain Poorly at 10 p.m. Eastern. Right before then, we will have the Cocktail Lounge with Brad Nagy. That is at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And then after Men Explain Poorly, we'll be heading over into SHR Media territory again for BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon, which is live on select Tuesdays and Thursday nights at 11 p.m. in the East and 8 in the West. And then that'll be it for us tomorrow night. And then Wednesday, back doing Rick Robinson at noon. Then at 6 p.m. Eastern, back with Kingdom and Country. 7 p.m. Eastern, we have the Toxic Masculinity Show. 8 p.m. Eastern. Wait, did I do that right? No, I did not do that right. Okay, so no. 7 p.m. Eastern, which is 6 my time, is Kingdom and Country. Then 8 p.m. Eastern is Toxic Masculinity. 9 p.m. Eastern is Behind Enemy Lines Radio with Gene and Ross. And then back over here for Rick and Orty at 10. before we head over into SHR Media territory again at 11. I'm vamping for a minute because I'm still trying to find out if I have a show coming up after me or not. I haven't seen him post anything yet, so I don't think so. Anyway, so yeah, normally we would be about to hand things over to the Beantown Bastard, but I don't think he's doing a show tonight. So we'll just wrap things up here in a minute, one way or the other. So it looks like President Trump is going ahead with his plan to try to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, but he's using some rather colorful language. President Donald Trump has issued a warning to the Islamic Republic of Iran, stating that death, fire, and fury will rain upon the Persian state should they interfere with the transportation of oil through the Strait of Hormuz, a vital sea trade route. Looks like Pete Hegseth reposted a post of the president's from Truth Social. If Iran does anything that stops the flow of oil within the Strait of Hormuz, they will be hit by the United States of America 20 times harder than they have been hit thus far. Additionally, we will take out easily destroyable targets that will make it virtually impossible for Iran to ever build back as a nation again. Death, fire, and fury will rain upon them, but I hope and pray that it does not happen. This is a gift from the United States of America to China and all of those nations that heavily use the Hormuz Strait. Hopefully, it is a gesture that will be greatly appreciated. Thank you for your attention to this matter. And this is from the Spectator Index. Breaking: Iran's Revolutionary Guards say in response to Trump that they will be the ones who determine the end of the war. Interesting. Trump's message comes after an Iranian announcement claiming that they would allow nations who would expel American and Israel diplomats to have free passage through the Strait of Hormuz. So, yeah, this could get interesting. The price of oil futures fell sharply after a climb this weekend, especially after Trump stated that he believed that the U.S.-Israeli coalition was nearing an end to Operation Epic Fury in a press conference on Monday. Trump has said that he believes that the United States is well ahead of its 4 to 5 week schedule to decimate the Iranian regime. And he did say that if you were watching. So, U.S. forces have hit more than 5,000 targets inside Iran. Sunk or damaged more than 50 ships, according to CENTCOM. So, crude oil price 18 hours ago was at 117, and then at close was down to 87. So we'll see if that downward trend keeps going or not. Looks like as of 3:45 today, crude was down another couple of percentage points, down to $83 a barrel. So it looks like it's heading in the right direction. So all I'm going to say as we get ready to say goodnight for the evening is this. It's time to turn paradise into a parking lot. That's all I'm going to say. All right, so we're going out the way we came in. Want to thank everybody for taking the time to hang out with us today. Again, this is the newest from the KLRN Radio House Band, and they have several other tracks that'll be dropping starting again in the next week or so, because I've been busy. But anyway. All right, here we go. Want to thank everybody for hanging out, and this is the end of the show for the night. But in case you weren't here for it, here's, again, the newest from the KLR Radio House Band. We'll see everybody tomorrow night. Bye.
They tried to quench the fire, drown it all in chains, tried to break our will and wash away our names. But every spark they buried only fed the flame. Now the cry of freedom's roaring through the rain. Hear the cry of freedom on the winds of change. Every voice united, breaking every chain.
Say goodnight, Gracie.